Welcome, everyone. Today I'm going to go through a project that we did earlier this year with MSG Networks. So essentially, they approached us with a challenge that they wanted to get to air in 3 months with numerous different betting programming and shows. And a big key in the challenge here was that they were integrating with 2 different APIs. So this included DraftKings, so a vast quantity of sport betting data, as well as with Sports Radar, so that would going to be live sports data. And then a key thing is it needed to be able to update quickly and for producers to be easy to select what data they wanted to show within their graphics, so it needed to be fast, dynamic, and easy to use. So when they approached us with this challenge, we knew that our graphics platform, Prime, would be a perfect solution for this. Within Prime, we're able to integrate data with our data object, and it's native within our platform, so there isn't a third-party integration in order to get that data there, which ultimately makes it extremely fast. So you can easily integrate the API data and quickly have that go out to air, which is extremely important when it comes to betting data. And then also we have another feature, control panels. I'll show you that a little bit later, which makes it really, really easy using drop-downs to be able to select the data that you want to be able to play out. So the result was that we helped MSG get to air within 3 months. They had 5 different betting shows, and their operators were quickly and easily be able to select games, save them to different templates, and be able to recall. So this is an example of their graphics. They had one of their shows is the Betcast show, and they had 2 different Prime graphics platforms, both with 2 channels each. And so just an example down on the bottom left, they have the L bar. So this is integrating with their DraftKings betting data for odds, for what's coming for their bet lines. And then also in the middle, we have the squeeze back where they have their standard graphics for sports data, as well as down in the bottom for social media integration. So I won't delve too deep in, but essentially with DraftKings, their API is huge. There's so many different games, sports, events, etc. And ultimately, with our platform, it's very, very easy to be able to navigate through a very vast and expansive API using custom queries. If you want to get super techie into it, you can do scripting. But natively within our platform, it's very easy to kind of pick and choose and be able to get to certain event IDs. So if I just kind of briefly go across, over on the left-hand side in the background, that's just an example of the JSON data that's coming back from the API. So when you query that you want a specific event, we're going to be able to pull that back. In the middle here, this is an example of our control panels. So control panels in our platform are completely customizable. And in this case, we're integrating them with the data. So in this particular case, you can choose the sport that you wish to get results back from, the league, and then also then the specific events. So as a producer or operator picks and chooses the information they want, these control panels dynamically update. So when they choose basketball, the event list is automatically then going to show you the selection for events that are related to that particular sport, which makes it really easy for a producer to be able to, or operator to be able to select the data they wish to display. And then this automatically populates into the graphic to be able to play it out to air. So they can do this in the moment dynamically, and then also an operator could do this as pre-production ahead of a show, save it to a number, or they could do this at the beginning of a season too. The nice thing is when they go to play it to air, we're consistently getting our updated dynamic data, so it doesn't mean an operator ever has to manually type any information in again after that. It's always going to be getting the latest and greatest information. So when we took on this challenge, MSG decided to give us their graphics package. They gave it to us as different Photoshop files, but we were responsible for building, it was 5 different graphics packages and also integrating the data. And so we took this as an opportunity to then decide how can we most quickly and effectively build the graphics so that A, we can get the project done as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible, but also how can we kind of set them up for the future that if changes happen to the API, it doesn't involve a lot of work, a lot of time for everything to get changed and updated. And in our platform, we have a feature called a base scene. And so this is similar to our type of graphics, but ultimately it's a graphic where you can use this as a reference file. So over on the left-hand side, you'll see everything that potentially can be within the base scene. But ultimately, in this particular project, we wanted to repurpose the controls. So the control panel. So the fact that you don't need to copy paste this between numerous different graphics, whether this is an over-the-shoulder, a lower third, some kind of side panel. We're ultimately going to do this once in a base scene and then repurpose this. So you can have your parent scenes and they just reference the single base scene. So it makes it very, very effective and time-saving for the designer. And then ultimately, we wanted to do this with the data as well. So this is our data object, and in Prime, we can integrate with numerous different data sources, but in this particular project, again, it was with 2 different APIs, both DraftKings and SportsRadar. And then we can also do custom queries, which allows you to kind of navigate through this large, expansive APIs of data. And so instead, again, of having to copy and paste this across numerous different graphics, you do it once in the base scene, and that applies to all of your different types of graphics. So we're really saving time. And ultimately, if these APIs happen to make any changes, you only have to make the change once to the base scene, and then that will ripple through to whether you have 20, 30, 500 graphics. All of them will instantaneously get updated as well. And then just another couple of things that we included in this is repurposing logic. So logic files, if you want green text, values that are positive to be green or negative numbers to be red, you can kind of have those in your base scene, as well as parameters, which for us can be project parameters. So if an operator decides that they only want to be able to have one event, they don't want to have to manually select those again. So we can have that stored value that when they call something up, it's also another opportunity to make it faster for them for recall. So just kind of recapping then. So ultimately, we had our API, a vast quantity of data. We'll be able to navigate through that using our custom queries to be able to get back the JSON data delivered. We're doing this all within a base scene, so we're repurposing the data and the control panels, and then we can have multiple different parent scenes, and these are a couple examples of what MSG did, and all of these can be dynamically updated and played out to air quickly. Another part of this project that we did is that they were integrating also with SportsRadar's API. So this included real-time scores and real-time stats. And we needed to be able to cross-reference these 2 different APIs. So on those control panels, if a producer chose a particular event, not only did we need the same real-time stats for that event, we also needed the corresponding betting data as well. So cross-referencing across 2 different APIs within a single graphic, and then being able to play that out to air. And this is the control room at Madison Square Gardens, where they were they had the live sports show for the Rangers and the Knicks, and they are, this is our different graphics going, and ultimately the project was a success. And if you want to find out more details, I will be at the Chyron booth or hanging around here later as well.